but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production, the NFL Bet Exchange, hosted by my man, Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and the Don of Cape Cod, Jeff Dawson.
Hello, world. It's the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and this is the NFL Bet Exchange. And to the east, my brother, to the east, who do I have here with me?
This is Jeff Dawson, the CEO, founder of East Coast Sports Investors, otherwise known as the Don of Cape Cod.
And there it is, and your two favorite pro bettors, man. And once again, and this is available on 12 Ounce Sports as well too, and my YouTube channel, and also on my Periscope as well too. So let's go ahead, Jeff.
From the east and the west, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production, the NFL Bet Exchange, hosted by my man, Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and the Don of Cape Cod, Jeff Dawson.
Hello, world. It's the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and this is the NFL Bet Exchange. And to the east, my brother, to the east, who do I have here with me?
This is Jeff Dawson, the CEO, founder of East Coast Sports Investors, otherwise known as the Don of Cape Cod.
And there it is. And
This is a Prime Wave Media production, the NFL Bet Exchange, hosted by my man, Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and the Don of Cape Cod, Jeff Dawson.
Hello, world. It's the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and this is the NFL Bet Exchange. And to the east, my brother, to the east, who do I have here with me?
This is Jeff Dawson, the CEO, founder of East Coast Sports Investors, otherwise known as the Don of Cape Cod.
And there it is, and your two favorite pro bettors, man. And once again, and this is available on 12 Ounce Sports as well too, and my YouTube channel, and also on my Periscope as well too. So let's go ahead, Jeff, get into it real quick. We had a good week. We would have made the playoffs as a wild card this week. Or if we were in the NFC East, we would have been the champion. We went 9-7 last week. We did very well for ourselves in certain categories. We didn't do well in other categories, but hey, it is what it is at the end of the day. And pretty much we did not get our dog of the week home. I'm kind of still sad about that one, but you know what? They kind of turned it on a little bit late, and I think I might have overstepped that spot. But I'm okay, Jeff. I'm okay because 14 out of the 16 games played, the favorite won straight up. There was two dogs who won, and the Rams weren't really a dog. The Rams were on a 50-50 slide. So they were plus 100 when we got to the kickoff, but they were minus 115 when we did the show. So I don't know if we technically count them as a dog, but they were a dog, and you know, pretty much it is what it is. And then the Raiders last night come through, and they showed us exactly what the Death Star is all about. I haven't seen a Raider team play like that since John Gruden's first tenure with the Raiders. They looked exactly like the successful Raiders that John Gruden used to coach back in the day, and hopefully they can go ahead and build upon this thing. But we'll talk about that in a moment because we know where they're going this week, where they're going this weekend. And they're coming your way this weekend as well, too.
We'll be ready.
Big matchup in Foxborough this weekend. Big. All right, so pretty much let's go ahead and jump into the Thursday night football game. But, man, oh, man, we got Jacksonville and we got Miami. And the game is going to be Jacksonville's first home game of the season. Jacksonville has spent their first two games on the road, and they pretty much went ahead and they really went ahead and tore up some pockets, Jeff. First week, cover as a plus 7.5. Last week, they came out as a 11, dropped down to a 7.5, and it looks like the Sharps got that one right as well, too. And old Pop wanted to go ahead and say, you know what, I believe in those Titans, so I think they're going to 2 touchdowns for me. I gave it out as a premium. You saw what happened. We were up 2 touchdowns at one point, but they couldn't lock it in for you, boy. So it is what it is, and that was a great effort by the Jaguars. And I know the Jaguars are the early favorite for this. This was a pick 'em, but early money is on the Jaguars. But that's because they're telling me late money is going to be on the Dolphins, and I'm going to beat them to the punch, Jeff. I'm gonna just go all in. You know, you're not the good news only dog of the week, but you will get. I will be putting my money on the dog money line. Give me the plus 130 on Miami Thursday Night Football. Love it.
Yeah, we're looking at this. Jags opened up at 1.5. Currently now -3, -115, which is telling us that the next move will probably go to 3.5. I'm 100% right with you on this one. Line opened up at 1.5. They're telling us initially they need some Jaguar money, and that's what the public has done is they've jumped right on that, getting it to 3, almost 3.5. Minshew's been great. 2 great games, 2 solid efforts. Which Miami team we're going to get this week? I, too, am with you. Currently, I would sit and hold. I can see this going to 3.5, and I will very nicely say Miami plus the 3.5 is the way ECSI would go as well.
I love that. I just love the fact that I get to start the week off with a money line bet. And I'm saying this because I'm going back to how week 3 looks for Thursday Night Football. Usually when they set up a slight dog, that dog comes through and comes in through in a big way too. It's always in the early months of the season as well too. So pretty much it is what it is. We move on and we have let's go ahead and jump into it, man. We got the AFC well, no, Jeff, actually this week we have no divisional games. Every game is either a conference game or a interconference game. So that's pretty cool. No divisional games this week, y'all. So that kind of helped us out a little bit so we can split it up the right way and everything like that. So here we are. And we got our first game up here is going to be the Texans at the Steelers, Jeff. Okay, so here we are. Steelers. Everybody was in love with the Steelers last week. We went ahead on the show. I took the Steelers with the -6, as you know, Jeff, and they jumped up to 7.5. And you know what? 14-26 was looking pretty good. You thought that they would go ahead and get a go-ahead touchdown and call it a day, or either just blow away the Broncos. They didn't do any of that. They went in there and literally had to stall them out a little bit, even after hurting their starting quarterback. But Driscoll and Locke, to me, are like a 1A and a 1B anyway. So pretty much Driscoll was the better quarterback, and he's pretty much just giving himself an opportunity to maybe start Sunday if Bortles isn't ready to roll, because that's who I heard they're bringing in right now. So pretty much what I'm doing here, Jeff, is I know it seems like I've been picking on this team a lot this year, and I already gave them a resounding, preview. But, I just can't get this Bill O.B. away from me, man. I'm going to have to take the 3.5 on the Texans this week because I like the mobile quarterback in this game, and I think that he's going to be a little bit more effective against this over-aggressive Steelers defense, and that's what I noticed in the game that we saw on Sunday. The Giants just are a high-end offensive team, and pretty much the Broncos were getting it together on offense in that game in a sense, but they look good. But we all know that Houston is going to be able to put something together. So I'm going to take them with the plus 3.5, and I would pretty much – that's where I'm going with that one right there.
What we're seeing here is the line opened at 5.5, shot right down to 4. And it's reverse line movement on Houston, 71% of the bets and 85% of the money all on Pittsburgh. Yet the line went from 5.5 to 4. So some sharp, heavy money on the Texans here. Pittsburgh's been great. Houston is kind of in desperation mode. What's Watson going to do? Is the line going to protect? Pittsburgh's got the best defense, I think, in the NFL. But I have to follow what the Sharps are saying. They're really, really leaning hard here on Watson and company. So I would currently, at this point, it's 4 minus 112, which tells us the next move is going to go to 3.5. So anyone out there that can get a Houston plus 4 right now is where ECSI is.
Okay. And I'm just looking at the line I put in last night, which was a 3.5, but a 4 is even better. So, I just really truly feel this will get the Texas season started. And, Jeff, the reason why I'm going with this angle right here is because don't be fooled by the first 2 weeks. I've seen teams walk in here 2-0, go against an 0-2 team and get beat by 30 points. it's just you don't think that just because they had a bad first 2 weeks, they're going to still keep being a bad team. You know, sometimes it all comes down to how good practice was. And I think a lot of these teams are going to have some real good practices this week because this is like, to me, de facto preseason in a sense as well. These first 2 games, and even some teams are going about it in that way. Come on, look at the way that the Patriots finished their game. That was almost like a preseason finish. You know, the effort and everything that it took, but that was a hell of a game. We'll talk about that in a moment too. But, you know, we move on. Let's go ahead and jump into this next game. Oh, and it's right here, Jeff. It's early too. And this is going to be billed as the NFL game of the week. First Belichick, 2002. No Tom Brady. We go back to Foxborough. Gruden's first time back at Foxborough since the incident that led to the Patriots dynasty. Let's all keep it real in that fashion and form. And now Pat's got themselves a really good quarterback, and I think that they've gotten very comfortable, Jeff. I think they're even more comfortable with Cam than they've been with Brady the last few years. Brady had to be the check down Tommy. Edelman had the highest receiving game of his career with Cam. And so now Cam has found his guy. Him and Julian Edelman have the rapport together. And now that's all Cam needed. Sony Michel now is going to get the green light somewhat because James White is going to be out for a significant period of time. We don't know when he's going to come back. And, you know, condolences to his family as well, too. So I'm about to keep it really real right now, Jeff. Raiders, you looked great last night, man. I love the fact that you guys came back and you guys are the silver and black again, and you guys look like Gruden's boys. But you know what, though? Bill Belichick got something for you coming Sunday. And you guys have been absolutely awful the last time, a few times you played against the Patriots. And I feel like that will continue because Cam, the first time he played him was at home when he was in Carolina, and he had an absolutely devastating game against the Raiders. I feel like he's going to duplicate that game once again with his brand new team, the Patriots. And I got the Patriots winning this one with 6.5, and I got them. I think the Patriots win by 10 or better, Jeff. I know it sounds crazy right now, but Pats, book it.
You know, we talked about this last night on Twitter, and you got the west to east and a 1 p.m. kickoff, which is absolutely unheard of. So these guys are walking in, literally playing at 10 a.m. their schedule. Line is at 6.5. 69% of the bets, 79% of the money is all on the Pats. You know, we're not used to moral victories here in Pats Nation, and man, I tell you what a game, what a feeling. Like you just said, I mean, Cam threw for almost 400 yards. Seattle right now, the best team in the NFC, and Russell Wilson, the best quarterback in the NFL right now. It's not even a debate in my eyes. With that said, it's almost like the sizzle on the steak. You kind of want to really lean here to the Patriots. Expect them to go to 2-1. That 6.5, I think by kickoff might be closer to 7, maybe even 7.5. So I like the Pats to win. I'm kind of interested to see which way this number goes. But right now, currently under a touchdown, I also lean the Patriots and Superman.
That's all I'm saying. I think Cam's going to have a big day. He's coming out with the running. His running game is back. His confidence is back. And he looks like the guy that was supposed to change the game when he came from Auburn and was literally doing that in 2016 as well, too. But, you know, injuries happen. And then when you're the one and only sole superstar on the team that is the driving force of getting your team victories, after a while it's going to wear you down. And you know what? Cam just needed a new home, and that's all. That's it, and that's all. You know, it's a team that new ownership. Everybody who was there with you in the beginning, they're gone. So it's time to move on to now who's somewhat like the same owner, and Bobby Kraft, a guy who's been with the league for a long time. So he should be fine here in New England. And a lot now, New England is becoming the flavor of the week again. But it should have always been considered high in favor as well, too. You got to beat the king before you can actually walk down the street, buddy. Come on, Buffalo. Hold your horses just a little bit. Because after what we saw against Miami last week, we all got questions. But let's go ahead and talk about the Jets and Colts, and then we're going to take a quick break after that. Jets, Colts, Jeff. My goodness, man. You know, I was so high on the Jets. Boy, go ahead and put down the Snoop Dogg potion, man, because seriously, Pop, you tripping with these Jets. You know, you got to talk to yourself sometimes, Jeff. So pretty much the Jets have been absolutely awful the first 2 weeks of the season. But I would say, okay, they played against two fairly good defensive teams as well, too. But how don't you even just get in the game with a team that had two of their defensive linemen tear their ACLs like back to back, and you still couldn't get in that game. And now you're facing the fact that you're just gonna have another season where you're gonna be drafted in the top 5 again. Now they'll probably get better later on as we go, but right now it's just a really I can't cuss because we're trying to be real PG here, but it is a show, and it's not a good show. Okay, so pretty much what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go with the trend that I've been watching with the Jets. Both Jets games went over slightly, both of them. So I feel like since the Jets are giving up almost 30 points a game, that's not going to stop for a bit now, because they're going to get a team that figured out how they're going to win games. That means run the ball. That's the Colts. And so pretty much I'm going to go with the over here. And let me get the number for you, Jeff, because I'm trying to charge this phone at the same time too, but not looking down and doing the show. But I'm taking the over 43.5. This has been the number on the Jets the first 2 weeks of the season. I think that we can go ahead and take it again. Because you know what's going to happen, Jeff? They're going to try to bet this down again because they're going to say, oh, well, the Jets probably lose 30-10. They're already a 10.5-point dog going into the game. And you know what? I can't trust the Colts as a big dog. They lost that. They didn't cover in any of the games when they were over 8.5 last season. So pretty much that's, to me, already a foregone conclusion that the Jets should be getting a lot of action before kickoff. But I think the over is the best bet. What are you thinking?
Initial opening line was 6.5. It's already shot to 10.5. 80% of the bets, 70% of the money, all on the Colts. Jets are a mash unit, not as bad as, say, the 49ers and some other teams, but injuries are definitely hitting them. Last week, the most intriguing opening line, I thought, was the Colts minus 3.5 against Minnesota. They went box to wire, and we'll talk about Minnesota later. A lot of respect in Vegas on this Colts team as the season progresses. Everyone's already burying Rivers. He only can throw it 20 yards. Expecting a lot of good things from the Colts. I can't bet that 10.5 number myself. It's already been picked off the carcass, as I like to say. Your total, I was 45 as an opener. I have it at 44, trending on the under there. I think that they're expecting the Colts to shut down the Jets. For me, this is for all the suicide must-win games, the Colts are the play this week. Just take the Colts to win the game in your must-win suicide picks. I expect the Colts to win. The number is a little risky to me, so I basically at a pass on this game. I lean a little towards that under, expecting the Colts D to put some heat on Darnold, lack of weapons. So we're at a pass. We expect the Colts to win, as you said, maybe that 30-13 game.
Yeah, I'll take it, man. I think I'm going to go with the trend. They went over in both their games. The Colts are 1-1, but the thing is, though, the Colts, they're guaranteeing us 28 points at least. You know what I mean? So pretty much if we can get a quick 12 or 14 from the Jets, a better offensive scheme, then we should be fine. But with that, we're going to go ahead and take our first break, and we'll be right back with the NFL Bet Exchange.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll Have Another, and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange. The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
Here, EastCoastSportsInvestors.com. Welcome you to the website. You're this close. Why not finish the deal and join our team? We're offering 2 great back to the basics and VIP packages for the rest of 2020. You can come on board to our very own app and bet work, we call it, for as low as 99 cents a day, $29.99 a month, or for the rest of 2020 for just $90. And that's a savings of $30 and 1 free month. Or join our VIP membership, which gets you direct emails and texts to your cell phone on a daily basis. Our breakdowns, our do's and don'ts, why we are releasing this game, and what to be expected for those games and the upcoming future. So come on board, click the link, or follow us at EC Sports Invest on the Twitter. We will follow you back and answer any questions there, or also send us an email at eastcoastsportsinvestors@gmail.com. Look forward to joining our team and seeing you soon at the Winner's Circle.
All right, we are back with the NFL Bet Exchange. It's the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, with the Don of Cape Cod, Jeff Dawson. And we are just moving along, trying to move along as quick as possible so we can get the commercials in and all that good stuff, and we don't overlap anybody else's show. So we got the Bears and the Falcons. And the Falcons, you know I was high on the Falcons. And the Falcons are a high-scoring team this season. But they're giving up a lot of points as well, too, Jeff. 78 points in the first 2 weeks of the season. That's 39 a clip, Jeff. And they're going to have to tighten that up a little bit this week. And I think this is the right matchup to tighten it up for them as well, too. So pretty much I love the Falcons this week. They're a little bit too high on the money line for me to take them as a minus, even though taking a minus 200 in NFL is not bad at all. On certain occasions. If you don't trust that 4 or that 3.5, then a minus 200 is not bad. It's bad to me when you're betting it in a basketball. But it's bad. It's okay in a football game. But it's okay in any occasion in certain instances. But minus 190 tells me I can trust this team to cover in this game because the Bears eked out 2 wins. They had to have they literally were handed a gift wrap to win in Detroit. And last week, it just outlasted the Giants. That's it. There was no more time left on the fight. The Giants would have probably won that game if they had another 15 seconds. So, all in all, the Bears have probably they're one of those teams that I'm talking about. You start off 2-0 because you lucked into 2 wins, in a sense. But you know what? Winning in the NFL is one of the hardest things to do. But I'm for sure this one's going to get ugly, Jeff, like really ugly. Because I think if the Falcons get a 21-point, 17-point lead up on the Bears, they're not letting up. Seriously, they're not. And the Bears' defense is not as shiny as it's been over the last few years. There's some flaws there as well, too. So I really, truly do like the Falcons. And Matt Ryan is tearing it up right now. And Calvin Ridley, you were the star last week on our fantasy team, and that's why you're on the team this week. Again, I know I'm throwing it out early, but I don't care. You're on the team this week, and you're starting that receiver. So there it is, 3.5 Falcons. Let's go, Jeff. What you thinking?
I was listening to Nagy today already, and it's a tough spot in my eyes. I was down on the Bears this year. As you just said, they did eke out 2 wins, but good teams find a way to win, and bad teams find a way to lose. And Atlanta, got land-based by Seattle opening day at home, and then they go to Dallas, and they just threw that game away. No doubt, offensively, they're one of the better teams in the NFL, but coaching and defensively they're struggling. So I think if Nagy comes in with the approach, hey, listen, we don't want to get into a shootout here. Let's use Montgomery. Let's use Cohen. Okay, let's dink and dunk, and let's see what Khalil Mack can do and put some pressure on Matty Ryan. So right now the line opened at 3. It's at 3.5 minus 112. I'm seeing this line that's going to go to 4. Not expecting the Falcons to go to 0-3. For me, ECSI, everyone here, hold on the 3.5. As soon as it gets to 4, that's a nice number. Pounce on the Bears plus the 4. And I even do like a little plus 160, a little beer and pizza money, as we'd like to say. And I like the Bears to go to 3-0, and I see the Falcons going to 0-3. And then is it Dan Quinn, the first one fired?
Wow. So two of my little sleepers, and you going the other way with the Bears. All good.
Yeah, Bears.
That's why I got Jeff here with me. So pretty much, and so Jeff says plus 4. And it says sprinkle some of that beer and pizza money on the plus 160. Okay. All right. So that means that for our Vegas people, just stay away from that penny slot machine for a minute. Go take your $100-$200 you were put in the penny slot and go bet the Bears. It might be a better bet for you. And then you can sit around watch a football game all day too. That's the only reason why people be on penny slots, so they can be at something for the next 6 hours.
That's right. Killing time.
It's the kill time. All right, so this is going to catch a lot of us off guard because I kind of was dogging them out, but I was kind of giving them props at the same time too, Jeff. We got the 49ers and the Giants, but the 49ers are in a bad situation because they had to fly back to San Fran because it wasn't like how it usually is now in regular NFL where if you play the same team 2 weeks in a row, you just stay back there. So they messed up the whole New York trip for the 49ers. I would have loved that trip. 2 weeks in New York City, oh my goodness, that would have been too much fun. But this one right here, I really do feel like we're going to get ourselves a good effort from the Giants. A lot of people, this is going to jump to, it was at a 6.5 to when they opened it. Then it got back down to 4.5. Why? Because everybody knows how injured the 49ers are. But I would still think this is going to be a measurement game for them, and they're playing against a team that's a top-tier team as well, too. I know that they'll step it up and they'll look somewhat good and decent in here. And I know losing Saquon Barkley was huge, but was he scoring touchdowns right now? They still have their player that's Daniel Jones' guy, and that's going to be Slay. Am I correct?
Yes. Slayton and Shepard.
Slayton and Shepard. So he has those two with him still. And that's what he's trying to building on being a better quarterback. And I think that he has a wide open door for it because Jimmy G is 50-50. I think Jimmy G, they might just sit him out just to say, okay, why don't we give Jimmy a break? Because they're looking at it in a sense like college football. In a sense, you saw that they weren't really even worried about losing that many players against the Jets. They kept pounding them out. So San Francisco is going to show us their depth. And if they have the depth, they can still go far this season. But I truly do think, I'm not going to say the Giants win this game, but I think it comes down to a field goal, Jeff. They just aren't going to walk in there and stomp them out like they did the Jets. The Jets, I think, were beat on arrival. It ain't going to happen to the Giants. The Giants want to prove some things this week. We'll see how it goes, Jeff. Give me the plus 4.5 on the Giants this week. Let's see how it shakes out.
Opening line was 6.5. I'm seeing minus 3.5, minus 112. Money line straight 180 hasn't moved, and the over/under opened at 42.5. So I think your initial thought process, the line moved based on, and it just popped up here now. Jimmy Garoppolo is officially listed as questionable. So I don't think the coach is worried if it's Jimmy Garoppolo or Nick Mullins. I think he has enough confidence in Mullins. The Mozart injury does take a little more oomph out, but McKinnon has looked great, and George Kittle is active this week, which is a big addition that they do need. So the initial thought process is 23-20. You're spot on that. The Sharps do think, though, San Fran will find a way to win. Again, Giants kind of sort of in that must-win mode. Tough game against Pittsburgh. Tough game against at Chicago. Now they got to face the 49ers. I think the 49ers find a way to win this. If this thing does ever go below 3, I would lean Niners here. But at 3.5, I think Vegas is spot on here. 23-20 is the number that we're looking at here. I'd say shop around. If you are on the Giants, see if you can get a 4. And if you are on the 49ers and you can get that to 3, 2.5, I kind of sort of playing both sides. If you ask me to take on the 3.5 line, I'm leaning 49ers with most likely Nick Mullins minus the 3.5.
All right, so Jeff is on the minus 3.5 with the 49ers. I'm on the plus 4.5 with the Giants. So that just goes to show you we sit in 2 different books. But at least the numbers are right. At least the numbers are right, Jeff? You know what I mean? We're not doing any funny stuff over here. Wink, wink. You know what I mean? So the Lions, B and Jeff already explained to you, the Lions are going to be jumping everywhere. You'll have one book that has it at this number, and that's the book you want to deal with. Then you got to find a book that gets your number early in the week when you get the early lines. Jeff, we both know this. So you got.
I mean, to all the listeners, what I can tell you this is, East Coast Sports Investors follows over 50 sports books all around the world. We have the whole Vegas Strip covered. We have DraftKings. We have FanDuel. We have them all covered. Bovada, 5 Dimes, you name it, we have it here. So when we release and put our name on a line, I will tell you where we're getting it from, whether it's Circa, whether it's South Point, Pop's Second Home, the Westgate Superbook. If you have shop at a certain spot and you need a number, look us up. I'll give you the number we're looking at. I'll tell you where the public is and where the shops are. It's all based upon your book.
Yes. So if you guys need that, that's another service ECSI does bring to the table for you as well too. All right. So we got Cowboys Seahawks, Jeff. This is probably the NFC game of the week in a sense, and I know it's going to be the America's game of the week with Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. You already know those two are going to be a part of this matchup. So I'm going to be real quick here, Jeff. I feel an under coming on because it seems like it always seems to happen in these Cowboys and these Seahawks games. And if you ask me who the winner is, I think the Cowboys are going to make the dog pick 4 list. I think they are. I think they're in for a huge upset. Now they ain't so cute no more. They ain't so sexy no more. Now you're starting to see the oh man, same old Cowboys, man. He was looking cute week 1, but damn, he's same old person, same old attitude. But it's this now they get to see Seattle, a team that they always play well against. Always play well. And Russell Wilson has had his nightmares against the team as well, too. But that ain't going to stop me from putting him on the team this week because I know I messed up the first 2 weeks. Should have been the starting quarterback. I'm dealing with the Brady, who was a bum week 1, even though he did get some touchdowns. Cousins, you didn't even show up. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take the under 55.5. Gonna be a good game, and I hate the fact that they keep putting Seattle in these matchups where I like the other team, but I still got Seattle going to the Super Bowl. It's no fair, Jeff, but it is what it is, brother. Under 55.5. What's your take?
This game opened at 3. This game opened at 3, shot to 5, and Seattle right now is 5 minus 112, which says the next move goes to 5.5. 74% of the bets. But only 10% of the money is on Seattle, yet the line went from 3 to 5. That's a clear reverse line movement on Seattle. The sharps are pounding Seattle. And the money line, Seattle opened up minus 175, went to minus 230, and your under-over opened at 56. I can't remember a number opening that high. 71% of the bets, 50% of the money on the over, and yet it's at a freeze right now at 56. So what do I say here? Listen, the sharps are pounding that Seattle's going to win this game. I looking at this from the outside would say, I mean, Dallas plus the 5, soon to be plus the 5.5 is the way to go. Again, don't forget, the public remembers what they saw last. They saw Russell Wilson, I think, who's thrown 4 incomplete passes all year, and the Seattle defense that stopped the Patriots on the goal line, and then Dallas getting a lucky victory. I'm going to lean right now slightly to Seattle minus the 5, even though I think Dallas plus 5 looks good. I just think late that Dak gets picked off, and with a 56 under over, they're telling me right now you're looking at a 31-24 game, somewhere in that area.
Well, it's going to be one of those games, just one of them games. I'm telling you, Jeff, it's going to go down in Seattle. It'll be a good game. And I know that we'll have NFL Red Zone covering every moment of it, even though they got other games to cover. It was great to have that back NFL Red Zone this week, but it's good to see them not so in love with Tom Brady and the Patriots. They were kind of limiting the showing of the Bucs game a little bit because who they were playing. But, of course, the Cowboys were going to get all the Cowboys were on there every 5 seconds. So it is what it is. The Cowboys are going to be the big deal this week again. So here we are before we go take our next break. We got the Lions and the Cardinals. Oh, my goodness. Under the radar game. And I'm going to surprise you here, Jeff. I'm going to really surprise you here. Jeff ain't ever surprised with me. We've been doing this thing for years. And, he knows me. He knows me. And, me being that guy that does the dog whisperer stuff, me and him is like partners, but I'm the football version of that. I'm the sports version. So pretty much, but they're not going to be a money line bet here, though, Jeff. Plus 5.5 Lions, man. They do, dog. I'm telling you. They got up on Green Bay. They got up on Chicago. They let both those leads slide out. Now they just got to get away from the Midwest for a moment. Get out west real quick, get a breath of fresh air, get some of that desert air in, and continue where they left off last season and actually finish the game against the Cardinals this year. I think that they're going to come back and duplicate the same thing that they did to Kyler early, but try to do that throughout a whole game. Patricia, he's went to school with Belichick. He got to make that adjustment. If he can make that adjustment, I think it's lights out for the Cardinals. If he can take the things he loves away. But now he has a new toy with Hopkins. But I'm going to just say like this, just double him as much as you can. Because Larry Fitzgerald is only moving so fast now. So pretty much that's what it is with me right now. Plus 5.5 on the Lions because this is going to be a total over bet to the Cardinals. The Cardinals are now the strawberry sundae. And I'm still not really that convinced because – the Redskins just were making a lot of mistakes. I think the Lions, if they can put it all together, they can actually pull this one out, but it's going to come down to the field goal. That's my 2 cents.
And again, the opening line is the key. Vegas is telling everyone a story from the opening line. The opening line was Arizona 3.5. The under-over was 51. So right there, Vegas is telling you 27-24 final. And they open it at 3.5, knowing what, Pops? That the public's going to jump on Murray and D-Hop. And what they do, they shot that line right up to 6. I am 100% behind you. Grab the 6. It's at minus 115 right now, which tells us the next move goes to 5.5. So everyone listening right now, if you can get 6, go get it. Because, again, opening line tells the story. And they told us very simply 27-24 Arizona, and they opened the line at 3.5 for a reason. Every Arizona bet at 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6 becomes a beer coaster or confetti. Lions plus 6, Pops.
There it is. So Jeff is on the Lions as well, too. So that means that Lions, you're in a good place if we were both on you. Now, if we get a third person that was on you, you guys are out by yourselves, probably. But if it's me and Jeff, you should be fine. You should be fine. But with that, though, we will be right back with some great AFC versus NFC games. There's a bunch of them, too, Jeff. So be ready for that. You guys just stay right where you're at. Stay tuned. This is the NFL Bet Exchange, and we will be right back.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
DrinkAid, ready for distribution worldwide.
The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
All right, we are back with the NFL Bet Exchange with the one and only Pop DiBiase and the Don God himself, Jeff Dawson, my main man. And pretty much, hopefully, we'll be in Vegas for you guys very soon doing the show, somewhere in the midpoint of the season. I'm supposed to be out there this weekend. But, business is business, and you know how it goes. LA is right now. LA is who needs me most. So pretty much, but that's all about. But let me not get carried away with me. It's about you and getting y'all these winners right now. So, yeah, AFC versus NFC. We start off with the Titans and the Vikings. 2-0 versus 0-2. Here we are in that scenario again. And early action that I saw, plus 2.5 on the Vikings, over under 47.5 as well, too, going into this game. And also, Anthony Barr, UCLA alumni, has been ruled out for the rest of the season, so that's huge for this defense that we thought were going to be, oh my goodness, the Purple People Eaters 2.0. No, they've been getting eaten by people lately, so it hasn't been looking good at all for the Vikings to start off the season. They gave up 43 opening day, and then they gave up 28 Sunday. So pretty much that team is, I wouldn't say – that team right now, I don't know, Jeff. I don't know what to say about them, to be honest with you, the Vikings. But I know what I'm going to do here. Because this game is one of those games that really you might want to just sweep up under the rug and just say, I'm not even doing anything with this. But I'm going to do something with it. I'm going to take the under 47.5, Jeff. I feel like it's going to be a low-scoring game. It's going to be a chess match. It's going to be the running backs type of game in this one. So I'm going with the under 47.
You bring up Minnesota, opened up 3.5 at home, opening day against the Packers, never was in it. Then we talked about they opened up 3.5-point dogs at the Colts, which everyone was like flabbergasted, like, are you serious? Box to wire. This opening line to me is so key. Vegas is trying to get a temperature of the Vikings. You should have seen Minnesota favored by 3.5 here, like the Colts were, and they had Tennessee -1, and it is now 2.5. 79% of the bets, 99% of the money, all on the Titans. The money's moving the right direction. I believed in this Minnesota team. I believed in Kirk Cousins. This team is just a shell of themselves. Another team staring at the season being over the first 3 weeks if they go to 0. I will say this. With that opening line, and I haven't been a Titans backer, I have to believe what Vegas is telling me, and they're telling me that the Titans was the play to go. I'm a little wishy-washy that it's so heavy there. So what I will tell all the listeners is it's 2.5 -115. If this line gets to -3, jump on the Vikings +3. It's the last time you will hear ECSI backing this team if they lay another egg. So I'm just playing the market. I'm playing the movement. I'm seeing this about to go to 3. So ECSI, Vikings +3. Do or die here for Kirk and Dalvin Cook.
Hey, and they're a home dog too. So, and we haven't had many home dogs this season as well. You know what I mean? Not many at all, but they'll be coming soon. They'll be coming to the theater near to you soon, though. They will. Bengals at Eagles, Jeff. This one right here it sounds just like the game that we previously talked about. Is this going to be the moment that we really go ahead and give up on the Eagles after this? I don't know, but we know the Eagles started slow. We know that Burrow caught some confidence last week, Cleveland. He had the highest throwing game out of anybody until Sunday started. Well, because he was the only player playing. He had himself a hell of a game, lost by 5 points, lost his opener by 3 points, really lost because the veteran didn't want to act right at that moment, A.J. Green, with the push-off. That literally was a game winner that they threw away. So pretty much the Bengals, to me, have played better in their 2 losses. Jeff, to be honest with you, the Eagles, 27 unanswered, and they were never even in the game this team is out of wits. They're out of sorts right now, and it's tough to put any money on the team. But it's also tough to put money on a team like the Bengals when I know that they could lay an egg here when they get to Philadelphia Sunday. So, you know what I'm going to do here, Jeff, when I can't come up with a side? I'm going to scoreboard watch this one. Give me the over 46.5 because both teams are going to score, Jeff.
Again, another 0-2 team desperation on the ECSI email. We gave out Philly because they opened up at 3.5 and the Rams went to 1.5. And then obviously by kickoff, it was basically a pick -1. Again, look at the opening line. Philly -5.5, currently now 6, -115. Next move goes to 6.5. Bengals with the extra 3-4 days off since they played on Thursday. Home game, home loss, and then they go to the Browns, and they did cover. We talked about that. That was a backdoor cover with Burrows. I have to go with what Philly and Vegas is telling me here. As much as it cringes, Joe, people to take the Bengals. As I said with the Vikings, I'm saying it here as well. Last swing on the Eagles. Give me the Eagles -6. And let me tell you something. They go 0-3. I'm going to start talking Jalen Hurts.
And you know what, Jeff? Right now, you remind me of my good buddies at the track right now, the top guys. We'll have horses that are $1 million horses come in there, and they've been supposed to win. They're supposed to win on debut. Then they come out in their second one. They're supposed to win in that second one. It's better. This group, they should beat this group. And then you got to drop them down in class. I feel like that's what we're doing with the Eagles. Now we're dropping them down in class, and this should be a game you should win. This should be a race you should win. Now we done dropped you down $30,000. Now you got to win. You know what I mean? Just a little bit of horse racing one-on-one for you guys as well, too. But Jeff knows exactly what I'm talking about. You got a hot horse, overrated horse, and you got to drop them down in class, and then you got to hope that they can beat up on a Bengals team that's looking like a maiden claimer right now. You know what I mean? So pretty much it is what it is to me. I'm going to go ahead and take my over 46.5. Jeff is on the -6 with the Eagles. So, Billy, you owe him a cheesesteak if they win because he still believes. He still believes, not me, but he believes. I haven't believed since day one.
Extra cheese whiz.
Oh, you like the cheese whiz. Give me some extra mushrooms, man.
No, actually, I'm a provolone guy.
Okay.
I'm a provolone guy. So,
yeah, okay. And then it's like Dinos and Pats. Right. And then they all tell me it's better to go to the homemade spots. All right, so the WFT. This sounds like a fun R&B group, Jeff, from the 80s. WFT with the new single, with the new hit. Going against the Browns.
UTFO.
And the Browns sound like an old 1960s group of Browns. The Browns family. But this is a good old-fashioned NFL game. These teams have played each other plenty of times, the Redskins and the Browns. They have fun history somewhat. And they're about even, but the Browns actually do hold the all-time advantage in this one as well, too. But, all them Paul Brown days, deep downs. But this is a toughie, Jeff. This is a toughie because we're two teams that are literally walking on the same road. But the Browns are supposed to be much, much better because they got one of the highest lines of the week. And I think that's fool's gold because they couldn't even cover against the Bengals in the same type of scenario. But they were close to covering it against the Bengals. And I know what the lines makers are saying. The Browns are a better team. After the first 2 weeks, they look much better. And Washington got lucky opening day. That's what they're saying, is that they had a moment and they won the moment. But I think all in all, though, you got to play it smart here, Jeff. And I know it's going to be redundant because I'm going to go back to the same thing I've went with the last two games. Scoreboard watching here as well, too, Jeff. But this time around, I'm going under 44. That's a low number, but I feel like we'll get an under here, Jeff. I feel like it's a 2017 finish. Comes down to the kicker here. Who has the better kicker? That's what it comes down to, in my opinion.
It's funny. Each one of these games, if you really think back to the game before, we're talking the same scenarios, just putting different teams. Okay? Here's a Brown team that's 1-1. Here's a Washington team that's 1-1. Okay? The Brown. If I take the Eagles against the Bengals, and now you were spurned by the Browns last Thursday on the backdoor Joe cover. Now 4-7 with the opening line of 45 and a hook. So if you do the math correctly, they're figuring a 27, 20-ish, 24. The number's right there, 28 to 20. That's where the numbers are saying. Again, I like the Browns to win. I also think Washington is moving in the right direction. Okay, I'm not a Browns believer. I like them at 4. I don't like them at 7. When it comes to the total, 45 and a hook, it opened. It's down to 44. Pops, I don't do this often. I'm going to follow your lead here when it comes to this total. I will take the under 44 as well.
He said, I don't do this often. Yeah, okay. Just maybe, yeah, you don't like to cut in my praise. I got you, Jeff.
I'm not a totals guy. I have the worst luck when it comes to totals. I do not give them out often. So I'm giving out under 44 here. Probably the halftime score will be 24-20. That's my point. I just not with me and you disagreeing or me and you following. My point is when it comes to totals, I could have tomorrow's racing form in my hand and my horse would, jockey would fall off at the wire.
Man, you good, Jeff. I'm just messing with you, brother. I'm just messing with you. All right, before we take our next commercial break, we got the Rams at the Bills. Jeff, this one, I love this game. This is the AFC versus NFC game of the week. And no, this ain't a Super Bowl preview. I'm sorry, it's not. But it would be fun if it was, though. But let's just go ahead, and this is going to be an easy answer for you, Jeff. This is going to be an easy play for you. This team is 5-0 in Eastern time zone games at 10 o'clock in the morning, my time. That's the LA Rams. The Rams have came in under the radar. Nobody took them seriously. I even said they took 2 steps back. They might have took 2 steps forward getting rid of Todd Gurley. Because this team is good. They're really good. And once again, McVay is just working the system. He doesn't really need a star or top-tier player to do that. You catch the ball, you run the ball, score a touchdown. That's all he needs you to do. Defense going to do what defense wants to do. I love the way this team is approaching this game and the way they look going into this game. And I just did not like the fact that the Bills took their foot off the gas last week the way that they did. It's just because I'm still bitter because they didn't cover the 5 for us last week, Jeff. But still, I think, though, as soon as I saw the matchup, I said the Rams are going to come up in here and pop the Bills. They're going to, the Bills are going to come in here. They're probably going to get even more money before Sunday, a lot of money on their side. But I'm still going with the Rams, and I'm going with the Rams straight up, Jeff. Give me the Rams. Plus 125 money line. Let's go get that money, man.
I tell you, west to east, back-to-back weeks, I have a hard time. And it's funny, the 49ers are doing the same thing. I was on the wrong side of the Rams last week. But what I want to tell the listeners here is Buffalo opened up a -3. Last week, Philly opened up a -3.5. The Bills are now just -2. Only 34% of the bets, but 81% of the money is on the Bills, yet the line went from 3 to 2. So there is some reverse line movement on your Rams here. Money line, Buffalo -140, now -130. Again, there's a reverse line movement on your Rams. Tough one for me to swallow here. Under over opened at 44.5, now 48 in the hook. So, I mean, this is saying right now Rams in the over. That's what these numbers are telling me. Tough game to call. I'll flip that. Boom. I'll follow you again, Pops. I'm going to take the 2 points, though. Give me the Rams plus the 2.
And look at you. You know what? You already know what time it is, man. The Rams are going to roll up in there and do the business. Bills Mafia, you know I love y'all, bro. Buffalo's so good to me. The people of Buffalo, I got clients in Buffalo and all that stuff. You know I be repping Bills Mafia with you all the time, but it is what it is, brother. I think the Rams got y'all this week. It is. Y'all just got to learn lessons. That's all I think with the Bills is that every game for them, and the lesson I learned this week is got to close the show, and I think that the Rams are going to be closing. So there it is. We'll be right back with we'll be talking about them in the Sunday Night Football game and the NFC that are left over. This is the premier sport. Oh, my bad. This is the NFL Bet Exchange with the one and only Pop DiBiase and the Don of Cape Cod, Jeff Dawson.
Drinkade, ready for distribution worldwide.
All right, we're back, and we are in the fourth quarter of the NFL Bet Exchange. It's the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, with the Don of Cape Cod, Jeff Dawson. So here we are, Jeff. Panthers, Chargers. And the Chargers get 2 home games in a row. Jeez Louise, man. And you were supposed to win last week. No, I'm going to make a call. If you guys don't show up this week, you got to play in the parking lot next home game, okay? You might have to play in the Forum, okay, next home game. All right, or go play water polo in the lake in the back. The lake looks so beautiful. That used to be a very good, attraction at the racetrack, Jeff. I'm glad that they left the lake there as well, too. So this is what I'm doing, Jeff. You know what, Jeff? I was molding this, but I didn't want to keep jumping on pluses, jumping on pluses, and jumping on pluses. You know what I mean, Jeff? But I'm gonna tell you guys like this. If you're looking for a dog that nobody's gonna be really looking at in the kennel come Sunday, it's the Panthers. I don't know. The Chargers don't play great against the NFC, and I just don't. This is one of those games where the Chargers have just, fouled up in a sense in games like this. You know what I mean, Jeff? So this is why I remember last year when I took the Colts straight up against them, and nobody thought the Colts would be coming. I did a few games like that against them last season, the Chargers. But you know what? I came to my senses as well too. There's no run TMT. That's the whole base of the team. I would really have to bet on Teddy Bridgewater having a day. And last time he came to LA, he did decent against the Rams. But I think, Jeff, all in all, you just got to play this one smart. I like the over 44 because it seems like the Panthers, they're giving up a good clip each game. When you look at it, they've given up 72 points to start the season off. So that's 36 a game somewhat, Jeff, because they had 38 last week, 34 the week before. So this team really has overwritten all over it when it comes to team totals as well, too, for the Chargers. So that could be a strong bet for you come Sunday as well, too, team total. But I really do think that this game does wind up going over. They're handing us 44, Jeff, with a team that went over in their first two games. I know the Chargers went under in their first two, but this is the Chargers' explosion game. Their quarterback already showed that he can throw for 3-4 touchdowns. They were just playing against the Chiefs. I think that it's going to be a pretty good game, and it's going to wind up going over, Jeff. What are your thoughts?
Line opened at 6.5, still at 6.5. Juiced on the Panthers now, so the next move will go to 6. Money line Chargers opened at 325, now minus 290. Little reverse line movement on the Panthers, as you talked about, now plus 237. And your total opened at 44.5, now 44. I got penciled in Hebert as well versus Bridgewater, no CMC. Tough game to judge. Everyone saw how well Hebert played, so therefore they're going to run to that, and as well as no CMC. So what I'm going to advise the people watching right now, line watch this. If you can get the full +7, I like the Panthers here plus the 7. I think it will go back and forth. I'm expecting mistake-free football. That's what they're going to need from Teddy when they travel out west. I think you're going to get Hebert maybe as a little regression here. So I'm going to say ECSI will take the Panthers plus the 7 and hope that, you keep it within, say 3, 4, 5 points.
Man, Jeff, I like that thinking right there, boy. Because I'm telling you, the Panthers just look really good coming in Sunday because nobody's taking them serious enough. Nobody's taking them serious enough. So pretty much it is what it is, man. Well, it is what it is, brother. So my bad. I was just looking at the silly message. But we move on, and we got another South versus West game, NFC South versus the AFC West. And this one is going to be at the Mile High. Okay, so pretty much I'm about to shock you guys here. I know everybody's like, Tom. It's Mo Tom, and he's going to get Goodwin back. He's going to have Mike Evans and la. But you know what, though? The House of Horrors for Brady is a place called Denver. And that's the one place where it's hard to trust the Brady at is in Denver. Brady don't even trust himself in Denver. You know what I mean? And they give him way too many points. And Denver fought last week against Pittsburgh. Regardless of losing their top wide receiver, didn't matter, next man up. Because they have a strong, tough coach in Fangio. So when you got a strong, tough coach like that, then pretty much, I'm just going to go ahead and say this team will run through a wall for them. And I think that what happens here is Broncos may not win, but it's going to come down to, once again, the kicker. This is going to be the most exciting game come Sunday. Watch, Jeff. just because, everybody's going to have this foregone conclusion that Tom and them are just going to walk all over them. And when you think like that going into Denver, it never really happens. Denver is just – they're not – you don't stomp out Denver in Mile High. That's very rare. They have to really have an off day for you to really just beat the brakes off them. I don't see that happening at all Sunday, Jeff. +6 Broncos, book it.
Line opened at 3.5, currently now 6. Again, the telltale sign, the under-over opened at 44 and a hook. So they're giving you what Vegas is thinking initially, and that's 24-20 Tampa. And now the public shoots that thing right up to 6. The total went from 44.5 to 43.5. Lock out Driscoll in. The one thing that's been consistent with Tampa, their first 2 games, is their defense. And Bowles has got them playing real good. Denver's going to have to look not to get in the shootout. And I think you addressed this properly. This is the House of Horrors. Other than South Beach for Mr. TB12 himself, Mile High is another tough spot. I think both defenses play well here. I'm going to say under 44 if you can get it. Right now I'm seeing 43.5. 44, 43.5. I like the under here.
There it is. And there it is. All right, so pretty much Jeff likes the under. And the under, I have 43.5. Jeff, what are you looking at?
Yep. 43.5 is the number I have.
Okay, perfect. And I got the +6 on the Broncos. All right, now it's time, Jeff. It is time. You know what time it is? It's time for us to go walk into the kennel real quick. We got small dogs, big dogs, cute dogs, ugly dogs, dogs with 2 eyes, dogs with 1 eye, dogs with big teeth, dogs with no teeth. But we got a lot of dogs. And so this week's good news only, Dog Bet of the Week, our proud sponsor, Good News Only Racing Corporation. Win the day every day, Jeff. And we're going to win the day with Captain Aaron Rodgers and the Packers with the +160 money line. Go ahead and ring the bell. +160 money line. Packers. Let's go. I don't even have to talk. You saw what just happened in the. What happened in the Oakland game. I'm sorry, in the Vegas game with the Saints yesterday. And pretty much, I think it's going to be a duplicate situation going on. I think that pretty much, let's hold that. Let's pray we can hold the line the way it is. I got it at +160. I already bet it, Jeff. And hopefully they'll let me keep that number. Because I can see this one going down to probably -2.5 on the Saints side. As the bets come in and, they're going to annihilate this thing come 4:30 in the afternoon my time when it's time for the Sunday night game. So I like the +160.
This line opened at 4.5, went straight to 3. Again, public remembers what they saw last. Breeze and company getting beat up on national TV. Now come home to an undefeated Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Line currently -3, -127. The money line opened at 140, now 163. So it's kind of what they're saying is the Saints win, but the Packers cover. Over-under opened at 55, now 51 and a hook. Their initial thought process was 31-24, which had, for the total, the 55, now down to 51.5. Tough spot. I haven't been a believer in the Packers. Michael Thomas is back, so his binky is back. I don't know what Saints team you're going to get. They fought hard against Tom opening day, and then they lay the egg. I hate to jump on the Green Bay bandwagon here, but I will say this. Give me the Packers +3 and a hook. Get that hook. So if the Saints do win by 3 or less, we do cash the ticket. So ECSI on the Packers +3 and a hook, my friend.
And there it is. All right, so Monday Night Football, Jeff. The game. Now, this is really the game of the week. And this is how you know Monday Night Football has returned back to being the Monday Night Football we all grew up with. It's back on ABC. And they're not going to give us these cupcake matchups between teams just because they want to show every team in the NFL. They say they reserve that right for Thursday nights now. So I can see the more whatever game going into Thursday night now. And we're going to start having more of these showcase games where they top teams, sellable teams, Sunday night and Monday night. You know what I mean? Because Sunday night football was always, when it was on ESPN, was always registered for whatever team, you know, any matchup, mostly divisionals. Now, you know, you got the star factor back because it's back on ABC, you know, Monday Night Football. It was never a really great product on ESPN, in my opinion, Jeff, over the last decade, by being directly just on ESPN. But it's okay. They got a great crew now as well, too. Lay, Riddick, and Brady. That's awesome. That's an awesome group right there. And pretty much not Brady. Greasy. Brian Greasy was Brian Greasy was considered the better quarterback at Michigan.
Yeah.
Always know that too. So pretty much, let me just get to the point though, Jeff. I'm going to go ahead and take the over 53.5. That's this. It got me. We've been waiting all week for the Monday night. That's what type of game it's going to be. Over 53.5, in my opinion, Jeff. It's too tough to call at this point. I have my winners ready on Thursday, but right now, you already know, Jeff. You already know what it is. You already know that this one right here is too tough to call. Over 53.5, brother. That's it.
You know, I always look at the opening line and which side of the money does Vegas need. They opened up the Ravens, who is probably right now considered the best team in football, -1.5. And that line is now -3.5. So think to yourself this. They said, we need Raven money. How do we get it? We open it at -1.5. The public shoots it to 3.5. If they needed Kansas City money, they would have opened this game up at 3.5 or 4 and then started getting Kansas City money to move it back the other way. Okay? As much as I want to say Ravens, because I think deep down they'll win the regular season game, but will Patty Mahomes and company win the playoff game? Because this game holds a lot of weight here for home field advantage in the playoffs. If they both end the season 14-2, Lamar and company will host because they own the one-game advantage over Kansas City. So we've seen Kansas City twice now kind of play with their talent, play these games like this, nip and tuck, was lucky to win. I got to take the pure value here. I got to use my head, not my heart. Give me Kansas City +160 money line. I don't need the points. I'm taking the +160 money line. Go Patty Mahomes. Go Patty Mahomes.
And there it is. Jeff said that Jeff jumped on his +160. He got his dog of the week too. So let's see whose dog gets it. Let's see who dog barks the loudest this week. All right. Jeff has the Chiefs as his dog. I have the Packers. All right. So there it is. That's a wrap on NFL games for this week as well too, Jeff. So real quick, let's go ahead and jump into my fantasy lineup for next Sunday. All right. So at quarterback, we finally went ahead and said we're going to spend the extra dollars. We cut money on other positions. I finally came to my senses. Russell Wilson will be our starting quarterback this week because we all know that the Cowboys have been getting their secondary has been getting butchered the first 2 weeks of the season. I kind of don't expect that to happen again, but I think that it's still going to be a low-scoring game in my opinion. But that doesn't mean we don't get stats in the game either, though, Jeff. So I'm going to go ahead and take Russell Wilson as our quarterback this week. Then I'm going to go ahead and he's been telling me to pick him up. And I'm going to do it. Melvin Gordon is going to be the running back this week going against the Bucks. I like the way that McCaffrey was able to do what he wanted to do. Gordon and McCaffrey are literally like the same model back. But the thing is, though, McCaffrey just gets more airtime because he's a little bit more successful, a little bit more on the field. So I like Melvin Gordon a lot. And then I like Kareem Hunt this week against the Redskins as well, too. I think that he's going to be the unsung hero for the Browns as well. So we're going to see how it goes. I think he's the X factor here. That's why I'm starting him at running back this week. Then I already gave it out early. I got Calvin Riley, wide receiver, Falcons. I think he has a huge week against the Bears secondary. I think he's going to burn him up, Jeff. He's going to have a good time against him. And then DK Metcalf, who's now starting to become one of the premier wide receivers in all of the NFL. I got to go ahead and say, let's take Russell's favorite target and throw him in here with Russ as well, too. Maybe we can get a touchdown or two out of DK Metcalf as well. And then I'm going to go ahead with your boy, Julian Edelman, because I just love the connection with him and Cam now. And you saw that big smile on Edelman's face like, man, this guy's going to give me an extra 4 years in the NFL. So, Edelman, I love it. And then this is a sleeper, but I know it's not really a sleeper. I'm going with Noah Fant, the Broncos tight end. He looked really good. He made a great catch last week. And I think that he's going to have to play big for the Broncos to have my +6 be spoken into existence, as LeVar Ball would say. So I'm taking Noah Fant with the Broncos, and then my flex this week is going to be Robbie Anderson with the Panthers. I think that he's good for one deep ball this week, one deep ball touchdown as well too, Jeff. And I think that he's going to be a big target for Teddy Bridgewater this week. I just really feel bad for Robbie because I thought an elite star big time team, say like the 49ers, would have broke the bank or somewhat tried to, pay him, and bring him on in. Because that's the type of guy that San Francisco needs to be over the top at this moment, is a Robbie Anderson, with the most slept-on receiver in the NFL. Yeah, he was on the Jets, but he was Darnold's best receiver, and they still didn't even budge to sign him. I just thought that was awful. So there it is. That's my squad. We got to save about $4,500 on this team. Oh, yeah, and then we got the coaches, the defense this week. Why not? Jets are averaging 15 points a game at best. So why not? Nah, Jeff. Let's go ahead and do it. That's my DFS squad of the week this week. So, Jeff, final thoughts?
Week 3, a lot of 0-2 teams that are do or die. Some 2-0 teams looking to go 3-0. So it's the NFL. It's not the no fun league anymore, but it is the unexpected always seems to happen. So be smart, bet with amongst your bankroll. Don't chase. If you're up nice going into Saturday, have some fun with it on Sunday. So when you wake up on Monday, you're not waking up with that big hangover. Yeah.
And you guys already know. You guys know I'll be with you all week. You guys already know catch the Primetime Angles on live every day on the IG on DiBiase Wave _. And pretty much, man, we are rolling. Hopefully we can have another big week to pad onto our record. We are 15, 16-1 on the season. So we're looking to improve that number as well, too. But you guys make sure to stay tuned and keep tuning in as well, too. This is episode 4, week 3 in the NFL, all covered just for you. And you guys make sure keep this movement moving, because we're gonna move as is, but we need you as well too. So thank you very much for watching us today, and that is a wrap for the NFL Bet Exchange with your host, the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper,
and Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, the Don of Cape Cod,
and we are gone.
Thank you for tuning in to the NFL Bet Exchange, where the sharpest bets are laid. This show was produced by the Prime Wave Media Group.